Hello everybody and welcome to something slightly different. So today we're going to have a different format of my little chat. I'm going to show you bits and bobs from my last walk around London, and I'm going to chat you through basically where I went, what I saw, what was going on there. So it was still fairly quiet because of the pandemic.
Please report to the country end of platform 12.
So this is the Paddington Station, which normally is very, very crowded because there's an easy access to the underground from there. So you can travel to Paddington and get to anywhere else you'd want in London. So people tend to go to Paddington and then take an underground to their work or back home whenever they need to get. And everywhere around London you can see a lot of pigeons, lots and lots and lots of pigeons. The city has quite a problem with pigeons, so you can also see a lot of signs telling you not to feed them. Famous double-deckers, red double-deckers, obviously, you can see them everywhere. So every single bus in London looks like that, and we've got beautiful architecture pretty much anywhere you go. I was on my way to the Buckingham Palace here, so I passed next to that arch, past some parks. There's quite a bit of parks around London, so there's always a place to sit and chill. And here we are on the Oxford Street that is very famous for the shops that are there. And as per usual, walking through London, you can notice some musicians or bands playing here and there. So it's always very vibrant, the town. During the day, there's street artists, street musicians. We are in one of my favorite spots in London, so Carnaby. There are yet again lots of shops. It's really close to Soho. There's an amazing food spot where you can find lots of restaurants. So you can go shopping, then you can go and grab a bite, and it's a really nice spot for a day out in London, I gotta say that. And more double-deckers. I think I was filming quite a bit of double-deckers around London, I don't know why. And here we can hear protesters. I have no idea what was going on in London that day. There was just one bus with a bunch of protesters. You could hear them very well. They were quite loud, gotta say that. But I did not know what the protest was about. It was pretty tiny for London. Usually there's just lots and lots of people protesting, and most of the people who live around London or in London know about the protests that are going to go on. Like there was a bunch of protests anti-masks recently, as in every other country, I reckon. And here we are in Green Park on our way to the Buckingham Palace. It's a really nice spot for a picnic. You can rent a chair there if you wish. They're quite expensive, gotta say, but it is an option. And there's always a bunch of people just chilling, enjoying the sun, enjoying the warm weather, which is always nice. And it is quite big and really, really beautiful. We are right next to the Buckingham Palace. That was one of the days when people were coming to the Buckingham Palace to pay their respects after Prince Philip's death. So there's more people than there would be per usual during a lockdown. Like before coronavirus, there would be crowds of people taking pictures of the Buckingham Palace. But now, because of the restrictions, there's not that many tourists, if there are tourists around it at all. So it's very quiet for London, really. And whenever you walk around, apart from the street musicians and street artists, there's also a lot of dancers and people promoting their dance clubs around. They are quite big on traditional dances, which we can see here. I've always wanted to learn that, but where I live at the moment, I don't think that there is a spot where you can learn, and also I'm on a quite tight schedule, so I don't suppose I would have enough time to master that, and it does look pretty hard. It looks pretty cool, but pretty hard. And here we've got the Chinatown, yet again one of my favourite spots in London. It's very colourful, very beautiful. There's a lot of Asian stores there, there's a lot of Asian restaurants, and you can go and enjoy a really good pad thai or spring rolls or anything else. And here we've got the guards, which are always there. In this particular spot, they're always on a horse. That day the horse seemed to be very nervous, so I took a quick video and I just went on about my day. And we've got the most famous spot in London. Let me know if you know where it is. And unfortunately, Big Ben is still covered, so we were not able to see Big Ben that well. And we are now on our way to the Waterloo station, because we decided that we're going to get to London to Paddington and then go back from Waterloo station, because you can always choose. The trains from Waterloo station take a little bit more time sometimes to get to a place where you want to get, but not always, so it depends where you're going. And it's always really loud on that bridge, even during pandemic. There's always the bus, there are always people around, and your typical souvenir shop with all the birds and flags. And we are on the bridge where we can see the London Eye and the River Thames, and I always like the view, it's very beautiful. And the other side of London, absolutely stunning. And even though it was not as busy as it was before all the lockdowns, it was still nice to see that there's quite a bit of people around. Absolutely stunning view. Let me know if you have any favourite spots in London, if you have any favourite spots in your town or city, and where would you like to go in London? What would you like to see? And maybe I shall make a video of that as well. Bye now.